Eyal Nora Alawadni, Eyal Birman. Yes, a pleasure to be with you, both of you. We have not too much time, so I'm going to be direct to this. Some months ago, this meeting could not be possible because there were no relation between Israel and the United Arab Emirates. Yes, now we have them both together. But first of all, Nora, what did you know about Israel and the Jews before a year ago?
Well, I knew a fair amount of the Jewish community. I had to educate myself, but Israelis I knew nothing about. I apologize to all of my Israeli friends now around the whole world. I apologize for being ignorant, but now I can proudly say I have a lot of Israeli friends and a lot of Jewish friends.
What did you hear about Israel in the Emirates? Before that, they were enemies. They were the people who have to have fight with them, or we didn't hear anything in the Emirates.
No, see, in the UAE, we're all about peace. We're a very peaceful country. So even if there were conflicts, we wouldn't talk about it. Okay, but the thing between the UAE and Israel, there weren't any wars. There weren't any fights. There was no hate. There were just no ties. That's it. Now there are ties, and it's normal, but there weren't any wars.
By the way, I love your nails.
Thank you.
Incredible. Eyal, before these accords, what did you hear about, or what did you thought about the Arabs and especially about the Emirates? Because we are just to think about Arabs like all the Arabs are the same, and suddenly we found countries that are friends of Israel. No.
You know, I was so curious. I met for a few times around the world in trips in England, in the US, Emiratis, Saudis, Bahrainis, people from the Gulf. And for me, the Gulf was as a kind of a region. I wasn't familiar with a kind of how the country is diverse and what is the sizes and what is also the power of the people in that countries. And I have to say one important thing. I learned so much from my friends in the UAE. That right now the UAE is, first of all, it's a country, but it's just the country of Nura residents, of Saudi residents, of my friends, and that's a friend that I cannot open the day, speak this 5 times a day with them. So I think the change here that we're creating not just a ties between countries or between politicians. This is a tie between the people, and that will create the cement of the normalization and the peace. And I'm sure it will bring more countries to be part of this movement.
Important, you say this is a tie of 3 countries, and it will be more countries about. But you made you have an organization for young leadership in Israel for almost 3 years, with more than 35,000 people already joining or being members. And Nora has an organization that it's Emirates Friends. No, Emirate is, let's say it. Is this new, Nora, or it became like a part of Israel is, or it was already beginning, or what it's doing together?
So it was not a thing before the normalization. And from day one, we met with Eyal. We knew that this is something big that we need to take forward. We need to make use of it. So we decided to have a sister company to Israel Is, which is UAE Is. I personally don't like the name Emirates Is, UAE Is. What we're planning to do is to educate. So it's basically an education for both nations, okay, and then the globe. So we've included people from Bahrain as well, okay, and Morocco. So every Arab country that is going to be a part of normalization is going to be a part of us. So this is not something only within the region. We're planning it worldwide. It's hard work. It's always very exciting with Eyal by my side. I mean, I could never ask for a better brother, honestly.
I like it. I like you referring to Eyal like a brother, and to us, it's incredible to hear it. Yes, and it was incredible to hear you also talking about the Holocaust and the survivors. It's like you didn't know about that before. Did you learn for the event, or did you know something about the Holocaust?
I didn't study it in school, but in university, in my English program, my professor said, write about someone who affected the world, whether good or bad. And I chose the bad side.
Right.
And then I started reading the books. I started educating myself. I started watching YouTube videos. But it is very different when you hear it from someone who is actually, whose family actually went through this. And shockingly, I didn't know that Eyal's family was one of those, which made me like this thing became very emotionally affecting to me because I know Eyal. Okay, I consider him my brother. I consider him my friend. So I couldn't have imagined, like, what if something happened to his family? I wouldn't have met Eyal. Thank God, alhamdulillah, Eyal is here. His family is here. And they live to tell you how brutal things were. So when our Prime Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed, said never again, I'm repeating his words every single time, never again. No more inhumane acts, no more hatred. That's enough, I think, for the world.
I think that's an important message. No more hate, no more fights. And that's something that Eyal and you are doing, and all the team that you are working together. Tell me something, Eyal. This organization, Israel is, and UAE is, it's going, Nora said it's global, but it's including just the countries that are going inside the normalization. Can be people from Mexico or from other countries be part of it, because it will be very interesting. You are having now a business forum, a networkship, and many people would like to do things together. Yes, I know your program is going to be in schools in Mexico also. They are going to talk about you in schools in Mexico. So what is your vision, both of you, about this reunion, this getting together?
You know, we call it our slogan, from is to us. The UAE is a country with a different story and different communities and fabric. Also, Israel is a different story. We have different communities, people, different religions and backgrounds. And we believe that this movement that started from the UAE and Israel and brought, and already we see 4 countries as part of this movement, and we will see more. It's not just a country of the Abraham Accords. It is started from there, and maybe that's the most important message of it. It started from the Middle East and spreading around the world. And our vision is to get a call from Switzerland is, and Mexico is, and Guatemala is, and to start to create here a global network of people that involve together to create youth leaders of tomorrow, getting to know together, and in the end of the day, changing the perceptions. Because I have to say that also for me, as a person that visited in Mexico just a few years ago, before that, I didn't know anything about Mexico. The only thing I knew was the nice beaches, and unfortunately, stories about crime that I heard from a few friends. And after visiting them,
it's not so bad.
I have stories, and I have most of it. I have opinions, and I have friends on the other sides and people. And I think when we are making it to be from countries to people countries, to situation that we are creating one global community, and this is the global is community that we are creating here, we will see more Mexico is joining is. We will see more Morocco is, and hopefully it's going to be a global movement, not just in the Abraham Accords.
We will look forward to help you to create Israel is Mexico, let's say it, or Mexico is, and to be part of it. We are already organizing something for the people. Nora, you are involved in the media, you are involved in communication. I think you are fascinating with that. What do you think it has to be the part of all the media and the social media to talk about this relationship, about peace, about what does it has to be? Because, you know, we are in the media, they are more interested in talking about the bad things. They are waiting something bad to happen between Israel and Morocco or Bahrain or UAE, just to talk. Did you see? They didn't. They are waiting for that. How does it has to be approached from the media? What do you suggest?
See, in my job, out of all of this, in my job, we don't focus on the negative things. let's say you have some negative points in a project, you don't focus on it as much because you will lose focus from the main goal. Okay, so my main goal is always to spread peace, okay, and to be happy and spread happiness and be kind and be helpful, because UAE is helpful. Okay, so this is the whole concept. Okay, Israel is kind. You get me? So
Yeah.
so Eyal made me realize that Israel is kind. Okay, I made Eyal realize that UAE is helpful. You get me? So the media will always need a bad story. This is how they sell. Okay, in the YouTube community, they say drama sells.
Yes.
So this is the same thing with media. For me, I always follow my leaders' footsteps. Okay, we're always about coexistence. We're always about respect. Okay, we have a ministry of tolerance, and we have a day of tolerance. Okay,
Right.
and in the UAE, and I told Iyad and I told the media before that in the UAE we are a very small world. We are a miniature world. Okay, we are a small place in the globe. Okay, which has over 200 nationalities.
Wow.
Okay, so me, I got used to living with people from different skin colors, different backgrounds, different religions, different ethnicities. I got used to it. I got used to it, and
Right.
I'm accepting because my country, my leaders taught me how to accept people. No racism whatsoever. So I'm telling you, and I tell everybody here, the media needs to sell. In order to sell, of course, they're going to look for fights. They're going to look for conflicts. That's definite. It's for sure. And for me, I did face a lot of conflict, a lot of drama, if you will, a lot of problems. But I decided at the end of the day to stop looking at it because it weighs me down. It hurts me. And Eyal knows what I'm going through health-wise. Okay, so he knows that it's because of all of this pressure. And I don't think I need any more pressure in my life. So I'd rather focus on what's good and spread what's good, since my energy always like recharges from whatever is good rather than focusing on the bad stuff. You get me?
Perfect. No, I love it. I love it. And I'm promise you that I will use all our medias, and I open a door for you, like I have it with Eyal, for you to tell us all about UAE, because we don't know too much. We know there is something, but we don't know too much about it. And I didn't know all about this, and the Tolerance Day and everything you have. And it's a peaceful place. Please send me whatever you want. You have an open door here with all our medias to spread this message and to know more about UAE. No?
Let me rephrase it. You, Isaac, have an open door with me. You
Thank
get
you.
to ask whatever you want. You get to text me. I know there's a time difference. You get to WhatsApp me, ask me whatever you want, and I will answer on behalf of the UAE. And I'll make sure to open your eyes more regarding how the UAE is and how people are living here. So yeah, you are more than welcome.
Thank you very much. I want to ask you, both of you, first, Eyal, what did it change for you after this normalization? Did it change? I know it's very fast to say it and to say, yes, it changed it, and now I can fly to UAE and I can be there. Well, we cannot do it too much because we are in pandemic. But what did it change for both of you, this signing, or nothing, or we will see it in some time?
You know, I think the challenge that we had here in the region, I think the whole region, between the Arab world and Israel, broadly, we used to learn since we are very young that there is differences, and there was a gap, even though social media creating a lot of connection, and I think that's the reason that we are sitting here and discussing, and me and Noah speaking every day, and me and Saud and every part of the member of the UAEs and Israel is speaking on a daily basis. I think the most interesting thing that we are creating an example for coexistence that haven't been presented before, especially in the Middle East, and we cannot avoid it that this is an area, the Middle East and the Gulf, we have a lot of blood that's been here, and I think we are offering a different opportunity by the young people that don't avoid the history but looking for the future, because understand if history didn't made us to be on a peaceful way, maybe we as a young people that see the words differently, that view to have a better world for our kids, for our grandkids, and understand what is so unique in our communities. And I think that's the interesting thing about the UAE is I don't want to forget what the UAE is. I don't want to make a globalization and to say this is now one region and we should forget everything that was before. I want to forget it, to remember it. I want to know what's been in Israel, what is the history of the UAE, in the Bahrain, in Saudi Arabia. But I'm looking for the future and saying, I think we can do it together, and I think it's gonna make us to be more benefits in our life, in technology, in social life, of course, in economies, and hopefully we can launch together as the UAE launch for space. And we just saw it a few days ago. This outstanding mission, we can see a mission standing to the out of a different space around the world. We can see some missions will send together from the UAE and Israel. And I think this is the dream and we will achieve it.
Nora, something that it changed for you in your life, of course, more than just knowing Eyal and all the team, because that's incredible, but what did it change in your life?
What changed is I never knew I was very good at speaking and negotiating. But my team has always pushed me. They pushed me. They know that I have it in me, and I was pretty afraid to speak because I suffer. Yes. Wait. I suffer.
It doesn't look. Yes.
Just hold on. I suffer. I suffer social anxiety. Okay, and I suffer anxiety and depression. So I forgot all of this with the help of my team, and they made me speak out. So basically those guys cured me, and I don't need to go to a psychiatrist. I don't need to go to the hospital. I don't need to look for medication. I have those guys who have my back and who believe in me, and they consider. I've never in my life thought that I was going to be someone's role model. For me, I would always look at other people as role models. Okay, because of them, they started pushing me out, and people are saying, you are our role model for peace. So those guys, I owe them my life. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. People say, you're doing all of this for Israel. No. First, I'm doing this for my country, because my country, for us as UAE nationals, we're patriots. We always follow our leaders. Okay, our relationship with our leaders is very different. But after this peace, after the peace signing, those guys had my back. Those guys started to push me to be a better version of myself. So I will never forget this. I will never forget this. And another thing that has changed, I'm learning from those guys every single day. Every single day. For us here also in the UAE, we focus a lot on knowledge, on learning. We need to learn. We always learn. You get me? The hope probe that went to Mars yesterday, that was a successful mission, did not come from nothing. It came from learning, from educating yourself. Okay, from learning from different countries, different cultures. Okay, from scientists. This is exactly how I feel with the guys here. I'm learning something from them. Okay, we have our differences, yes. We have different ways of thinking, yes. Okay, but we always find a common ground to agree on and to sit on. And then we work around our differences. We don't focus on something that we're different in. This is basically maturity. This is how best friends are and family is, right? You
Yes.
tell me you don't have any disagreements with your family, and
A
I
lot
will
of
call
them,
you.
with my sons, with my spouse, with my family, with my brothers. There are disagreements, but at least we are family and we keep together. That's a message. And this is incredible also.
Exactly. They know how tough I can get. Okay.
I see the face of Eyal.
Look at Eyal's face. He knows. Okay. They know how tough I can get. They know what is it that I want to achieve, but they still accept me because they know I have a good heart, and I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart, and because I am afraid for them. See, when you suffer anxiety and when you have panic attacks and depression, it's because you've been through a lot of bad things in your life. okay, which I faced a lot, okay? I don't want them to face the same thing. That's why I try my best to protect them.
Incredible, incredible. I know that you are tough, but you became very famous for a photograph. I don't know if Eyal has it over there and want to share it. Can you tell us a little bit about this photograph? Because it came all around the world. Nobody knew it's you because of the photo. We'll see it there. But it became very famous, and it was a message for all the people. Yes, yes. The two flags together, looking there. And it's in UAE. Tell us a little bit about, did somebody told you about something about this photo? There were some people recommending, people saying perfect. What is the story behind this photo?
So first of all, the people who retweeted this photo, we have here a UAE billionaire, Hassan Sajwani, retweeted it first. And then Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu retweeted this as well. And then Ivanka Trump retweeted this. So the photo was shared all over the world and people don't even know it's me. But hello, guys, it's me. So the story about this photo was, literally this photo was just some spontaneous move. I just had met Ronnie at that day, and ever since we've been best friends. Yes, I'm a best friend with an Israeli. I can't help myself. See?
Incredible, yes.
So
She lives where does she live?
She lives in Tel Aviv.
All right. And how did you make the photo?
So she was here in the UAE, and
all right.
Israel I met her because someone spoke to me and said, there's this girl, Israeli travel blogger who's in the UAE. She hadn't met an Emirati national. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll meet her. I'm free. I'll meet her. Why not? And we went out. We had breakfast, and then we had coffee, and it was Sukkot at that time. We went.
I'm sorry that I interrupted. I just have to jump for the forum, but you can join me in 2 minutes, so you can finish here the conversation. I just have to, sorry that I have to jump because I just need to start briefing the group in the beginning.
All right, we will see you in 2 minutes here.
Okay, good. See you soon.
Bye, Jan. So the whole thing happened, like I went with Ronnie for breakfast, and then we had coffee, and then it was Sukkot at that time, so we went to see the sukkah, and I saw the first kosher restaurant in Dubai, and I was learning more about.
Sorry, it was a kosher restaurant already in Dubai?
Yes.
All right.
And I was just learning more and more, and I was asking questions, and every time I'd ask a question, I'd say, I'm sorry for being uneducated. I'm sorry, because I don't know. Like I was never taught about the Jewish religion. I was never taught that.
Yes.
I didn't know. And because like I didn't know that we had Jewish people already in the UAE, I never read about it, but I read about the Bible, and I read about Christianity because they're already here, and we know that they're here, and the Jewish people here and the Israelis who lived here would always hide. Okay, right. So I didn't ask anybody. I didn't know who to ask, but it was a gift from God that Ronnie was there. And I kept on asking and asking and asking. Okay, so I started learning a lot. It's very different when you have somebody from a Jewish community, someone who is Israeli that could help you. It's very different. That's why when I spoke about the Holocaust, it felt different. It felt very different. Eyal is connected to me now. Okay, not just business. Forget business. Before business, he was a friend, and I met him personally in Dubai. So we've created a connection, and it felt very different. I felt emotionally connected. Okay. And then also me seeing my leader saying never again in Berlin, in the Holocaust Memorial Museum, I felt the same way. I felt this. It's very different. It's very different when you have someone who could help you and teach you. You get me? So with Ronnie, asking her all kinds of questions. Okay, and she would help me. And then when the time was, she told me, I have a photo shoot. Can you drop me off? I said, yeah, sure, I'll drop you off. Okay, And when I dropped her off, she's like, can you come with me? I'm like, what? Come with you where? She's like, to the photo shoot. I'm like, sweetheart, I don't look presentable. I'm not ready. Like my face, she's like, no, don't worry. So we went up there. Okay, I cannot say the building's name or the skyscraper's name. So I went up there and I was like, oh, what's happening? She's like, I want to take a picture for my travel vlog. I swear, Isaac, I was scared. My knees were cracking and clackling, and I felt like I was going to fall. But but like you saw in the picture, I was holding her hand because I had nothing else to hold on to. It was just her.
Don't say it. We thought it was because you care about her very much, not just like that. No, it looks incredible. Yes.
And because see, when you're up there and you have no railings around you, and then you hold on to one person's hand, that means you trust them.
Yes.
And she trusted me. You get me? So we were in this together. It's very different. Okay. This was the first photo we took. And then we were so scared. But then Spider-Man in me just jumped up. It woke up. So I started jumping onto the other sides and, sitting down, standing up, holding another flag. And it was something I never thought in my life I would have done. And the funny part is I was so afraid to show my parents because I was scared. What would they think? Because I'm very cool with the whole Israel thing. I was afraid. So my father saw me and he was like, where were you? I was out. He's like, where? I'm like, okay, Baba, I had a photo shoot. He's like, what? And then I showed him the picture. And I was so afraid of what he was going to say. I was so terrified. Right now, the emotions came back to me. I'm scared. So I was afraid that he was going to say, you're not allowed to. This is wrong. You never know. It was never spoken about.
Years of different thinking about it.
And get this. So when I showed him, he's like, are you crazy? I got so scared. I was like, what? I was ready to say it's a peace normalization that already happened and you have to be on board.
I know.
And then he said, what if you fell down? I'm like, oh, okay. So it's because of the height. He's like, it is not funny. It is so scary. What if I lost you? I'm like, you did not lose me. I'm right here. He's like, but good picture. Thank you.
Right. I think like a father will think also, what were you doing on top of that building without anything back there? It's like a little bit, and don't tell them you were jumping all around there, because I think they don't won't like that too much.
Keep this as a secret. We don't tell.
All right. I hope they don't see this interview. And if they will, I will tell them it was somebody else. Don't worry.
I told them already.
Tell me something about it. I'm already with you here. How to change the how people think in both countries, because this has been a history of 75 years, not of hate. You say it's peace, but it's a they are like this, they are not trusted, they are trusted, it's still, and there are still people think that this is not trustly, that maybe this won't be for a long time. I'm hope with the help of all these young people with new things, ways of thinking and everything, this will last along, and it's a change for all the region. But how to do it? Because it's important to change it.
See, change is very hard. And people they mostly speak about change, but they're always afraid of it. They're afraid to take that step. They say, oh yeah, we need to change this, we have to change that. But when it actually comes to action, I don't want to be part of it. But for me, because I work in risk management, so change is a part of my work.
Right.
Okay. I cannot get comfortable with anything. Okay. Immediately, once I get comfortable, something's going to change. Okay. Right. Example. You meet me every day, let's say for coffee, face to face. Pandemic happened. What did you have to do?
change it and do it in internet or do something different.
There you go. So you need to accept change, okay? And you have to educate yourself, okay? So the media, as I said, the media is going to always focus on where the money lies.
Exactly.
They need to, I understand it's their job. They have to make money. You understand me?
Yes.
But you have two sides of a story, and then you have a brain that God gave you, okay? You analyze, okay, and you choose what side you want to be on, or you do the smart thing and you don't be biased to anyone. Okay, you be a human being. It is very different. Okay,
yes.
We are human. At the end of the day, we are human beings. The humanity is lost. We have a lot of humans, but humanity is lost.
Yes.
Okay, here in the UAE, we were taught to be human. Okay, we were taught by our parents, our leaders. Okay, we are human on the inside. This is the most important thing. Okay, we respect other cultures, we respect other religions, we respect, even, like, for example, here in the UAE, when the Jewish people had to celebrate Hanukkah, there was a huge Hanukkah that was in front of Burj Khalifa.
Yeah.
Okay,
But that was after the normalization. How was it before? Before you said they were scared about it. Why? From that one day they are not scared and they can go out to the streets, and the other day, but the people around, they have also to see. Last year, 1 year before, you didn't see a celebration of Hanukkah in the middle. And by the way, the rabbi that made the celebration of Hanukkah is he's from Mexico also.
Rabbi Levi?
Yes. One of the rabbis there is from Mexico. But all right. But it's important how to do it, because it's yesterday I cannot go outside to the street or say I'm Jewish because I'm scared, and today I'm not scared. People didn't change their mentality from one day to another.
See, no, it actually changes. See, here in the UAE, because if we are normal with you, we're normal. Okay, because here in the UAE, we've already been. I told you we have a minister and a ministry of tolerance. Okay, even, let's say I do not accept you, but I do tolerate you and I respect you. But I don't need to, like, for example, I don't know, like for you, for example, Isaac. Okay, let's say you like your coffee black. I don't. You like it however you like it, but I don't like it. But that's your preference and my preference. Okay, we can agree to disagree, and we can still live with each other. Correct.
That's important.
Exactly. So you have to live with all nationalities. You have to live with people. Okay, the whole world is enough for everybody. The whole world is enough for everybody. Okay, we have to respect each other. We have to. It is really important. Okay, we say we want world peace, but then we don't accept peace with a certain religion, with a certain background. That's called bigotry, and it's a type of racism. You want racism to die? This should die too.
Yes.
You should accept everybody if you want world peace. You have to. So this is the whole goal with what we are doing. Okay, we started here because it was new. Okay, and then Bahrain, and then Morocco. Okay, we're going to go to Mexico when we have a huge audience. We're going to go to Argentina when we have a huge audience. Okay, be it London, be it the United States, be it Japan. I don't care. Okay, we want to go globe. We actually want peace. Okay, I don't say ignore the past. No, the past happened. History happened. Okay, but is in the past. Okay, this was a part of us. It is a part of us, but it was in the past. Okay, now you choose. Okay, for example, let's say I don't know, let's say there were wars in Mexico between a specific family and your family. Yes. You're going to carry it to generations, to the future generations. It will never stop. It will never end. Why would you bring new human beings?
People do it. People do it. They pass it and don't mix with them. and it becomes global also, because it says it's not just with the other family. It says, but this family is from this part of the world, so don't mix with this part of the world, because we are used to say, to generalize, to say all of them, they are like that. All of people that lives in Argentina are like that. All the people that lives in Brazil are like that. All the people that live in UAE, it's like that. Every people, we are used to do it like that, instead of just seeing that a small problem, it can be solved.
Everything can be solved with communication, Isaac. Okay? Communication is the key to every solution. Everything. Okay? And listening is very different than hearing. Hearing, I would just hear your words and I'll just ignore it. Listening, I would take it in, I would listen, I would focus, I would analyze what is it that you're saying, okay? And it will make me think. Listening is very different. When you listen, you don't have to respond right now. When you hear, yeah, okay, you said whatever you wanted to say, this is my response. Okay, so you're ignoring the fact that you're trying to communicate. Okay, so there is no point in communicating and talking. When you communicate with someone, you have to sit down like grown-ups. Sit down like grown-ups and just talk it out. See, where is the problem? How can we fix it? Okay.
Right.
Here in the UAE, there was no ties between us and Israel, right?
Yes,
okay.
Right.
I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I'm not a politician, but I'm pretty sure that our politicians here and in Israel sat together on a table, came with an agreement, and the peace happened. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So why can't we continue doing this, by sitting and talking, okay, and seeing that it's time to let go of the past, stop. I understand it was there. Okay. I understand. Okay. But if here in this part of the world, as human beings, we have it in our hearts to make peace, then everybody has it. Okay, we just need to educate people. By educating is what we are doing. We show people that, hey, you like rap music, I like rap music. You like to salsa dance, I like to salsa dance. Okay, you
there are
like
many things
paint.
in common.
So why focus on the things that is going to make you hate the other person? Okay, my dad, I told him, Baba, I have an interview with a Mexican TV, with a Mexican news channel. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. You remember when you were in the States and they called you a Mexican? He's like, yes, I remember.
All right.
He's like, yeah, I remember. Okay, and from then I started loving Mexicans and Mexico, because my dad said, oh, we look like them. We look like Mexicans, but we're Arabs. Okay.
Incredible, yes.
So it's different. And then my father also told me that when he was in the States, he was neighbors with an Israeli Jewish woman and her husband. Okay, and when she invited him over for dinner or for lunch, dinner, I don't know. Okay, she told him, I am a Jewish. He's like, so I am a Muslim. And she's like, but I'm Israeli. He's like, I'm from the United Arab Emirates. What are you trying to say? And she said, you're okay with it? He's like, I'm here with you, going to have dinner. So like you don't care about where human is from, because he's a human. When you guys connect on the same level, okay? He connected with her over dinner, okay? And her husband and my uncle or his friends, they connected with the Israeli family over dinner. Okay, so when you meet people, you never go like, hey, you're from Israel, I'm not going to talk to you if you were from there. No. Hey, you're Jewish, I'm not talking to you. When you first meet someone, you never ask this, right? You say, hey, how are you? How's your day going? And then you start talking, and then you see things are in common. And then if it ever comes up, you would ask, so where are you from? Okay, now let's say I hate Israel, let's say, okay? Which I don't, I love them so much. So let's say I hate them, but then I met you. Okay, we connected on so many levels. And then he told me, by the way, Nora, I'm Israeli. Am I supposed to hate you? We're connecting, we're doing so well. Am I supposed to hate you?
There is a phrase, somebody, a lot of times when you meet it happens a lot being Jewish to many people, that people know you, start to be friends with you, and suddenly you say, I'm Jewish, I don't know when, and they say, you don't look like, or you are not look like. It's like something that surprises many people, because they think they have like a picture of all of you, or when you talk with an Arab, it also says, are you really an Arab? It's like all they have to be the same way, no? And you have to change it, no?
So now you met me from the UAE, and let's say you heard bad things about the UAE. You met me. Now, how do you think, what do you think about the UAE? You met me now. What do you
I'm
think?
surprised, and I'm telling you, I enjoying the conversation with you, knowing more about UAE, because I don't know anything about it. I have some suppositions. I have a thought about how they live women there. See, I see, like I told you, your nails. I see, and it's incredible to get this impression, no? Because it's different from what you are thinking. Saying, as you were in the United States, it's like, all right, tell me a little bit more. We know about UAE, but getting inside and knowing more about it, it's fascinating, because there are many wrong messages that have been sent around the world, not just from UAE, from Israel, from all the countries. And when you start looking at them, it's like, really? I didn't know. Oh, really? I have another idea.
I'll tell you one thing. You've seen yesterday the probe hope, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know that there's a huge staff of women who were working on it?
No idea. No.
Now you know. Okay. And we have plenty of ministers who are women.
Right.
Okay. And the last parliament election, not this year, the 4 years ago, the lady who there was a lady who led it.
Right.
She was the head of the parliament. Okay. So here in the UAE, I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot of misconceptions about the women here and the women's rights, that we don't have any rights. We have all of the rights. Okay. Our leaders back us up. Okay. Since you have backup from the leader, you will immediately have backup from your family. Okay. My mom, okay, she is 55 years old. God bless her, mommy. Okay. She has my dad's support. Okay.
Right. Sure.
She works. Okay. She does the thing that she loves to do. Okay. Because she was working in a very, very corporate environment. Okay. Just because one day she told my dad, hey, I want to go to a fashion course. And he was like, okay, go ahead. So it's different.
Your father looks like a very incredible person, eh?
My father is the best person you'll ever meet. He is so kind. He is the sweetest. Okay. If you Google him, you're going to read stuff about him. Okay. That he was police and all of that. But he is an amazing artist. Okay. He a couple of last week or the week before, the Guatemala embassy in the UAE gave him a certificate for participating in art. My dad's an amazing artist.
He paints?
Okay.
He's a painter, or what kind of artist?
No, he's a photographer.
Oh, I will let later that I will put you in contact with a friend of mine that is working in Israel. He's an amazing photographer. He made a book also of faces of kids in Israel with Arabs, with all of that. And he has amazing photographs, and he opened a gallery, and he's doing a lot of job trying to connect photographs from all around the world and with many people. And I think it will be very interesting for your father and with them. And they are almost the same age. We look old, so we are old enough.
No, you're not old. You guys are young. You guys are young.
Thank you. You are invited to whatever you want in Mexico. Don't worry.
Thank you, gracias.
You have to come. You will love Mexican food, and you will love everything here. It's incredible.
Come on.
Not only what Eyal said. We have food, we have tourists, we have places, not only beaches. We have food. Wow. It's incredible. Food. Like I'm sure I have to be there in UAE.
Huh?
Like I'm sure you have in UAE.
You have to visit us, and here for example, a couple of days ago, I was in a restaurant in Abu Dhabi called Let's Beef, and I had tacos.
Ooh.
So
Not so good
no,
as in Mexico, but I think they are good there.
and no, not as good as Mexico for sure. See, when you're talking about the origin of something, you have to try it from the original place. Okay, you have to do it the right way. The right way. Okay?
What's the common plate in Abu Dhabi? What is the let's say here in Mexico you find tacos every corner. You have to eat tacos. Are you there, Nora? Nora.
Hello. Hey.
Hello. Here we are.
Okay.
So I lost you for a minute. But
sorry.
I was asking you, I don't know if you, what is the normal? Because we have tacos here every corner.
Okay. Our normal food is burgers.
All right. I was helping for a Arab
no.
plate. I don't know. Falafel. I don't know. Burgers. All right.
So here in the UAE, we're very big on food. Okay.
Right.
Especially us, the youth. We love food. Okay, and you'd see a lot of people would try new foods and have fusion restaurants and some very weird sushi place that has spicy Cheetos,
Right.
weird things. Tacos, I had burritos, I had chimichangas, I had taquitos, I had nachos, I had guac. I had everything. Okay, this is from the Mexican kind of food. Okay, and then pizzas, pastas, gnocchis, you name it, Italian, Chinese, Asian, whatever it is. I tried everything. But I do not eat seafood. And here in the UAE, people love seafood, and I hate it. I hate.
All right.
I hate it. Smell, I hate the look, I hate the taste. People were like, no, we can cheat and we can include seafood in your food without you knowing, but I can smell it. I don't know, I can smell it. My brain is messed up.
You have to try shrimp tacos.
No shrimps. No.
All right. Tell me, you were talking about the Jews, what they like, what they do. What do you think Mexican Jews, Jewish, non-Jewish, and everybody could do joining with Israel with UAE doing Mexico what do they have to do? Because I'm sure that many people that will see this interview or will see you, they will like to be and say, I want to be like her. I want to learn more. I want to be part of the change. I want to be. How to do it?
You said the key word. I want to learn. This is what we're doing. We're teaching people about our culture and Israeli culture. We're teaching people how businesses are run here, how businesses are there. Entrepreneurship here, entrepreneurship there. Technology here, technology there. Okay, so this is how we're connecting. We don't care about your religion. We don't care about your political views because that is not welcomed in what we are doing. Okay,
Incredible. Excellent.
We are politicians. We are not religious people. We did not study it. Okay. You are not a rabbi. Okay. You are, let's say, a photographer or a chef or an entrepreneur. Don't talk religion. Okay. I did not study politics or diplomacy. I don't talk politics because I don't know it. Okay. But the way I influence people in a political way is I follow the book. Who are the books to me? My leaders. You get me? Yeah, so this is how it's supposed to be, and this is how it is. Okay, so whoever wants to join us should have an open mind for change. 1. 2, no racism is welcomed. Okay. 3, no politics. 4, no religion or religious views. Okay. 5, be a human. 6, bring innovation to the table. We love new ideas. Okay, we're always very fresh. Okay, there are people who go by the book. Let's say, for example, they cook, I don't know, they cook pizza by the book. And then there's someone who would come in here and say, I don't want to have marinara sauce. I want to have, you know, a bechamel because I felt like it.
Right.
So change is there. Okay. So this is what you do. Let's say, for example, you have machines who would make your coffee for you, correct?
Yeah.
And then you do it how the Japanese did it. We have robots who are going to make the coffee for you. It's the same. It's coffee, but it's robots. It's different. No human contact for people who are like me. I am very antisocial. Okay. So
It looks like you are very antisocial now. Yes, it looks.
Isaac, I am very antisocial. I try. I mean, I try because ever since I was a little kid, people were very mean to me. I was bullied ever since I was little till the age of, oh no, I would still be bullied until now. But back then I wouldn't talk. I would always just keep it to myself. I had a talk with my mom, and just now before coming here, and I told her, Mom, reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is because I was always bullied, and I never tell you that I was sad or angry or upset or I'm facing this because I don't want you to get hurt.
Sure.
So my mom was like, okay, I understand. You know, so me standing up, it's basically me standing up to all of the bullies in the world. This is what I'm doing. It is very different. It's hard.
It's
hard.
a different way, but it's interesting.
It is very hard.
Yes, because there are bullying all around the world and in all places and everything. And it doesn't matter if it's religion, if there is size, if there is color, if there is anything. Bullies are bullies every place, and it doesn't have to be there. And we have to stop also that. And it's very hard because it's like in human nature for somebody to be and the others, but it has to be broken because it's not normally. You don't see other species doing it. So it doesn't have to be a normal thing. It's something that we learn to do, and we have to learn not to do it.
So sometimes we always say that bullies are the ones who need more love. Okay. And sometimes, like for me, anything I do is my karma. I believe in karma so much. Okay. So if I do something bad to you, this is my karma. Like I am going to get something so horrible come back to me. Okay. So when people bully me, I go like, thank you. Or I would answer in a very sarcastic way, but I'd never bully anyone. Okay. They are bullies. It's up to them. Okay. But now what I'm doing is standing for everybody. I'm standing up for myself because I used to be afraid of standing up for myself. Okay. Standing up to the bullies when I was in school and university was very hard because I was always alone. Nobody had my back. Okay. And yes. I would be so afraid to speak to my dad and to my mom because I don't want this to be a big thing. And I don't want everybody to fight my fights for me. Okay. So for me right now, I stand up for what is right. And what is right is for you to be a human being. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care how nice or ugly your face is. You're a human. You're human. Humans are humans, period.
Incredible. But and they have to be good humans and have it correct and be tolerant, like you said. Respect. I don't like the word tolerant. I don't like it because tolerance it means like I accept, but I tolerant. I think we have to respect what the other people think. More than tolerant, we have to respect and accept it like it is and be part of it. I think we have to learn from everybody. It's not to be tolerant. It has to be learn and be part of the other person.
When you were in university, didn't you have diverse people around you?
Sure. And I was in a university that I was we were only 2 Jews in all the universities, so it was different, but there were also people from other countries and from other places and from other religions and from other things. And we are friends of that. And it was incredible to interchange information like you did, like the ones you did with Ronnie. That's sure she surprised you with many things that you didn't know. And it was,
the curiosity of learning. You're talking about learning. So whoever wants to be a part of us has to have this thirst for learn and this hunger for learning. Okay, you want to learn. you come to us, we will teach you. That's why I told you, you have an open door with me. Okay, I will teach you anything about the UAE. Okay, although I'm not the best teacher, but okay, I would for sure give you my number. Okay, and we exchange knowledge. Okay, and if you want,
I will love it to have it. It's a pleasure. I'm telling you, some of the words you told, I have heard it from a lot of survivors of the Holocaust. We have a program every week. We interview another Holocaust survivor because we are losing them, and they have very important messages. And that's part of where you said a little bit earlier about not forgetting the past, but accepting that it came, but not bringing it to the present with all of that. That is something that they say a lot of times, these different survivors, because that's what they made them not only survive the Holocaust, it made them survive after the Holocaust, because it has been many years, and they have to be, and you talk with them and it's something different because they have a, I don't know, happiness, a joyful, that it says, you know, I didn't forget, but I let it in the past to enjoy my life today and to have many friends and to have other things. And we have learned about that. And it's very interesting what we talk, because also these interviews, they are not made by a Jewish girl. They are made by a girl, 20 years old, non-Jewish, talking with survivors with a different view. And it's, you learn every time, you learn something different because they identify themselves talking not just to Jewish kids or so, talking to somebody else who wants to listen and listen to the other person. It's what it makes what you are doing in these two movements, that it's only one, that it's Israel is and UAE is. Yes, I already learned not to say the other way. Thank you. That's, we say it every time. So it was like a normal thing. We already learned that. And I will take your word to talk more about it, because it's very interesting how to know about. I'm not talking only about the relation Israel and UAE or with Mexico. I'm talking about food, knowing more about, because I was surprised that you love more burgers, that a tradition that I was supposed to have their traditional food every corner, but burgers, it's all right. It's all right.
There is no food. We basically have how do you say it in Spanish? Pollo rice, arroz with pollo. I don't know, right?
You speak Spanish, all right? Why did you do this in English?
Chicken and rice.
All right, we have to do it in Spanish the next time.
Well, why not? Let just give me a script. Let me memorize it, and
you are incredible, Nora. You are incredible. I have to see. You have to send me photos of your father, not of him. What he takes. Sorry, there.
Photography, definitely.
I will look for him also. I love photography. I mean, a lot of clubs of photography. I love it. It's one of my passions. So
I'll post it for you. This is his personal account, but it's also his. This is where he puts all of his art. So my dad.
One important question. What did he thought about the photograph of you on top of the, like a photographer? Did he say anything about the composition, about something? Because it's also very good composition with the building in the front. You both of you looking, not giving the faces, but looking to the other side, like looking like to the future or looking to the past, wherever. Did he say something about the photograph, like a photograph?
Oh, well, I'll tell you. He said there are some extras down there that you should have cropped, and then the flag.
A photographer is always a photograph. You see the photo and you say, you were looking at, look, the hands and everything, and the feeling says, you know, the light was a little bit bad. You should wait for a little. Am I correct?
You are 100% correct. That's my father.
Tell him I did the same.
You would do the same? Oh,
yes.
God.
Yes. My kids send me photos of them, and look how nice we look with the, you know, I would take the photo but without that. And they said, look at the photo. No, I never go out in photos because I don't like how the other people take the photos. So everybody tells me there. So
my father, he studied photography in Ohio. So that was his bachelor's degree. It was in photography. And then he went to the UK and studied his master's in photography. And to me, there are a lot of photographers here in the UAE and around the world, but to me, my father, like, he has a very, very specific way of doing art. His art is very mysterious. It's not out there, extra lights, high exposure, blah, blah, blah. No. My father takes the picture as is. Like, this is what you're seeing from his eyes. This is it. And from my mom, I learned how to accept different people and how to accept different views and different mindsets, because my father is an artist. My mom is a very corporate person. She studied politics.
All right.
Okay. She studied politics. She has 2 masters, one in research, one in quality management, and then her PhD is in project management philosophy. So my mom, if I want to learn, I go to her. If I want to learn how to speak, I go to her. If I have an idea in my mind that I am afraid to show, I would just drop hints to my mom. Hey, what do you think? This is the, no, if you do it this way and you alter it this way, it's going to look better. So my mom has always been my like, how sometimes you say there are angels watching over you?
Yes.
My mom, that angel. She watches over me. That's my mom. And my dad said one thing once before. He's like, what would I do without you? Every single time I would, like, for example, the littlest thing. Okay. I would, for example, clean his ears, like pluck the hairs, for example. He'd say, what would I do without you? Okay. And then if I tell him, oh my God, Baba, the picture is great. He's like, what would I do without you?
Incredible.
No, it's
Nora,
different.
I'm enjoying the talk with you. I will be doing it more times. It's incredible to know about it. It's incredible to. I would love one day to talk with your father. It seems like it's incredible to interchange photos. It's incredible. It's fabulous. But I think they are waiting for you in another conference.
Okay, I'll
Business
go there.
conference, something about Israel is, UAE is, and they are waiting for you there. It's incredible. But we will be talking more about this. Thank you
Now
very
it's
much.
the globe is kind, so the globe is diverse. This is it. So I need to focus on the globe. UAE is established. Israel is established. I want a bigger picture.
We will help you with Mexico, Argentina. This interview we have, part of it, I'm going to use it also in a program we have in Radio High, and I will use it also in other medias we have, that there. It is going to be very interesting because you have many things to talk, and we will be doing it more of that with you and all your team, because you have in your team somebody that knows very good about soccer, about football, because he's part of the Barcelona. So we will have to talk with him. He knows about football.
You have to meet my team. Every one of them is just
we will do it.
A star in something. Every one of them is a star in something. Everybody is just a different kind of energy. I love them so much. Like, because of Israel as well, I met them. And I love them so much. Like, my goodness. Alhamdulillah. Like those.
With that.
Please, yes.
We will be in touch. Go to the other one because they are asking me. Enjoy it. Again, incredible, your nails. Your pins has something to do, or just is your pin? It's just something like that, or it's beautiful also.
So this is so we had a national. We wanted to have a national symbol of the UAE. So this is basically the map of the UAE with the colors of flags. So you have red, green, black, and of course here the white. But
incredible.
So
I knew something was there to be told about it. It's incredible also. And please show everybody your nails like this, because it's incredible job. Wow. That's a woman in UAE. So you can see they are not like, it's incredible. You can see the fashion they are, and you can see Nora Al-Awadi. I said it correct?
Al-Awadi.
All right, I will learn to do it better. Al-Awadi. All right. An incredible face, person in UAE is, and working for global peace and just people will be the key this to be sure in all parts of the world. Thank you very much, Nora. It was fascinating.
Thank you. Thank you. It's
Thank
an
you.
honor.
An honor.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.